So okay, so now you growing up, you what? You said you about 5 and you in Dallas now, right? Or
I was 6 by the
About
time we
6.
got. Yeah,
You're in
about
Dallas
6.
now.
Right.
Now, for you, when did was hip hop always a thing for you?
No. I mean, I would say I don't know what age I was when I started really gravitating towards hip hop exactly, but in my house, they didn't listen to hip hop. So,
What did they listen to?
they listened to like old school R&B, gospel music. Um, that was really like the gist of it. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but I can't remember what age I was, but I started kind of hearing a couple of Christian rappers, and I started I was already starting to gravitate towards that over the other stuff that I heard. And then I know I was about 11 or 12 when I really started listening to real hip hop.
Right.
I think the first record I actually heard was that Nas, that
Yeah.
I know I can.
I'll be what I want to be.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
from there I started diving in and studying,
Sure.
learning, what it was all about. You know what I'm saying? I was a big T.I. fan at first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I loved Urban Legend. That was one of my favorite albums from
So,
him.
so when it came to, it's funny you say that too. I don't mean to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
Conway had mentioned how that's kind of how his gateway. That was his gateway to the hip hop was the Christian rap.
Yeah.
Now for you, was it something where because he was saying that I remember he mentioned the fact that his parents weren't too fond of the kind of the climate of hip hop then too. Was that the reason for your family to where it's like
Honestly,
or it just wasn't that style?
Yeah. I mean, we never had that conversation, so I can't.
Sure.
I honestly can't tell you what their core of it was.
Sure.
But I know it wasn't something they didn't. I know they probably didn't like what it stood for.
Mm-hmm.
They probably didn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? And the popular image of it,
Absolutely.
and what it typically projects,
Right.
is not what they wanted, to get across to us.
Sure.
So they didn't want us, really going after that. But once I got into it, I was into it.
So for you, what was it that said, I don't want to just be in the audience, I want to be on that stage? Was that at a young age, or was that something?
It wasn't really I started doing it. I was about 13 when I started freestyling, and I used to just download beats. LimeWire, we was heavy on it.
Yeah.
And so I used to just download a bunch of beats. I'd make CDs, and I would freestyle over the whole CD.
Yeah.
I'd just go.
Yeah.
And so I kept doing that, and then when I was about 15, I started I'd meet other people that were rapping. We used to battle it. We used to freestyle battle. And so I used to go back and forth with a bunch of different dudes. And then sometimes I'd be at work. It was this dude, little short dude, Joe. I can't remember his whole name, but we'd be up at the job.
Yeah.
He'd just be giving me rap about blue. And now I hate when people do that, but I used to just do it.
Yeah.
Nigga, rap about blue. What am I say about blue? Rap about peanut butter.
Yeah, I mean it was like a.
You know what I'm saying?
It was like a exercise.
Yeah, so it's he just giving me random shit. I'm just going.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm exercising that muscle, and I just got good at it. And so then after a while, I started. As I kept doing it, you know what I'm saying? People started hearing me, and they were pushing me to start recording.
Well, and before you started recording, was this in Dallas with the battle in where it kind of started growing, or was that already when you would move?
No, I was still in Dallas.
You still in Dallas?
I was still after a while I wasn't battling so much where it just kind of started turning into a cipher kind of thing.
Right.
And one of my homeboys that I still stay in touch with from Dallas, my homeboy Miyake. First time we met, we were at I was going up to North Lake Community College. I was taking classes up there. I seen him in the hallway just by himself. He like got a beat going on his phone, just freestyling dolo.
Yeah.
And so I walked up. We just
got in.
You know, I jumped in. We start freestyling back and forth, and like he's to this day like that's one of my dudes. You know
That's dope.
So,
that's dope. So now it's not only a habit now, it's becoming second nature in regards to putting these words together, right?
Yeah.
Rhythmically. Now, did you start recording in Dallas?
Yeah.
Like,
I started recording. It was a dude. His name was Mo Dust.
Yeah.
His real name was Morgan, but he went by Mo Dust. And my brother actually introduced me to him. And they used to work together. So he was like, "Yo, my brother spits," and he knew he had a studio. So he was like, "Yo, you should listen to my brother spit." And so I'm working. I used to wait tables up at Olive Garden down there. And he came in and he heard me spit, and just from then he was like, "Yo, you got something different." You know what I'm saying? So we linked up, and at first I paid him for a beat, and then he really didn't like recording people outside of like he had like his little family that like his brother and his dude Syndrome that he worked with, and so he really didn't record other people, but then he just really kind of gravitated to what I did, and so he was like, "Yo, I got you." And then from there it kind of grew to more of a family thing where he's one of my mentors that really helped me get off the ground and get going in music. So I recorded we really recorded a lot, honestly, but we didn't put anything out. So it was really just we would get in there and we would link up. He would chop beats up, and then me and Syndrome, we started working together, and we put a bunch of tracks together, but it just kind of never panned out where we got everything completed. You know what I'm saying?
What was it for you? The inspiration behind all that work back then, like growing up, like for me, I just wanted to like have the money and the girls and the fame.
Yeah.
Like was it the same for you too?
Nah, it was just a passion for it, So, I mean, a lot of the songs I did back then was like, even now, but it was like anything I was dealing with, like I was expressing it through music. You know what I'm saying? And it was really an outlet, and I just like got hungry for it. So it felt natural. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to try and be anything else. I didn't have to think about nothing else. It just started naturally coming out, and so we would get in there. I didn't have nothing else to do really, so it was like we would lock. As long as I wasn't working, we would lock ourselves in there, work on music all day. You know what I'm saying?
You remember the first song that you ever recorded?
I remember the name of it.
What was it called?
It was called "The End of the Road."
End of the Road.
Yeah.
That sounds like some serious shit.
Yeah.
Do you remember at least the gist of the song? What was it about? Do you remember?
Just about a lot of things that was on my mind. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember if that was a track. I think that was one where I had addressed like my cousin had committed suicide. He OD'd on some pills, and then just a lot of other things that was on my mind at the time.
Absolutely.
I just really, I honestly can't remember the words, bro.
No, trust me, I don't blame you.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't blame you.
That was like 11 years ago or something like that.
When I asked you that question, I automatically asked myself.
Yeah.
And I remember the song name too. It was called "Time to Change," but I couldn't tell you the words.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, in regards to what it was about.
The only thing I remember is I'm just trying to make it to the end of the road or something like that. Was like the last line of the hook. But
so that was when you you caught the bug, right?
Yeah.
Like so.
Well, like when you first hear yourself on, you're like, "Oh shit, I did it! I'm about to blow up." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Oh, everybody about to go to the street, about to be going crazy."
Sound kind of good, huh?
Yeah, nah, that shit was trash. Like I can listen to it now, I'd be like, man, that shit.
Back then it wasn't trash though. Come on.
Probably not, cause like what people was like gravitating to then, it's different from what it was now.
Back then you definitely. I mean, it's in retrospect, it's always different looking back at it.
Yeah.
Especially with some time in between all of that.
Yeah. I mean, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
This is some bullshit.
So let me ask you, now, what made the transition from, rapping with, was it Mo? What was his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. What the transition from rapping with Mo to coming to being in Oklahoma City and doing what you're doing now? Like, I know that's a big jump, but
honestly, I mean, so Mo was getting shipped out to. He was in the Navy or the Marines.
Gotcha.
And he got shipped out to Japan. And so, and at the same time that was going on, I was just about to move out here to Oklahoma. So when he was getting ready to ship out, he was like, "Wow, you starting to take this real seriously, and I want you to be able to keep progressing. So I can sell you my equipment, and you can record yourself." So he hooked me up. He sold me about $6,000 worth of stuff for $600.
What?
And I'm talking like big sheets of soundproof, and I still have to this day. He sold me his mic, the preamp,
gems,
all the cords. He sold me his computer with Nuendo on there and Reason.
What? I remember Reason.
Yeah. So, and then his MIDI keyboard, I had all that. And so, I mean, overall, it might have been a little less, but I mean, those recording softwares by themselves
they were thousands of dollars back then.
At least $1,000.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
With all that, I was really grateful that I was really lucky that he gave me that much of a deal on it, and it just shows like how much he believed in what I was doing.
Absolutely.
So, I got out here, I thought I knew what I was doing off the rip. So I used to lock myself in my room when we first, because I didn't know nobody here. Right. I didn't know where to go to get on a music scene or nothing like that. So I just used to lock myself in my room all day and just work on recording, trying to figure out how to get the sound better. Whenever I finally got at least knowing how to record down, I really thought I knew what I was doing. Yeah. But I didn't. So I can listen to that shit now and it's like, man, this shit sound trash. But so that's my thing. I tell everybody they shit trash. So.
Well, I think it's better than saying the opposite all the time, right?
Yeah, I ain't no yes man. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Exactly.
You can ask anybody in my crew. I'm gonna keep it 100. Sometimes I just be talking shit. That's
what I was about to say. Sometimes it does sound like sometimes you are your worst critic, but I think that's every artist's kind of thing, right? Like you always got to challenge yourself not to be your worst critic in a sense.
I think we all strive for perfection.
Sure.
So if you're not, then I don't know what you're doing it for.
Sure. But when something's good, do you tell yourself it's good?
Yeah. I feel like though, like sometimes I go back and forth. Like there's times where I hear a verse from myself and I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy. Like how did I come up with that? And then sometimes I listen to it. I'm like, this shit's alright.
That was bullshit. Yeah. That shit was whack.
It wasn't whack, but it
was like.
It was like.
You said it wasn't whack. Hold up now.